Today, we're making homemade pretzels. We'll make soft and chewy pretzels perfect for snacking or as an appetizer. We'll start by adding 11 grams of active dry yeast into a mixing bowl. Add in 430 grams of fairly warm water at about 105 degrees Fahrenheit. Stir the yeast and water together and then let it sit and activate for about 10 to 15 minutes until it starts to foam a little. Add in 885 grams of flour, 28 grams of sugar, and 21 grams of salt. Use a spoon or your hands to mix everything together until a loose, shaggy dough forms. Next, turn the dough out onto a lightly floured surface and knead it for about 10 minutes until it forms a fairly smooth ball. Kneading helps to develop the gluten in the dough, making it soft and elastic. Mine here was a bit dry and I could have added a bit of water to hydrate it more, but it still worked out. Place the dough into a clean bowl, loosely cover it with a towel or plastic wrap, and let it rise for about an hour until it's doubled in size. While we let the dough rise, take 210 grams of baking soda, spread it out into a foil-lined baking sheet, and heat it in the oven at 250 degrees Fahrenheit for an hour. With the magic of editing, we can see the dough get nice and puffy. Turn the dough out onto a lightly floured surface and cut it into 8 roughly equal pieces. You can weigh them to be exact for more equally sized pretzels, but a rough guess works as well. Roll and stretch each piece of dough into a long, thin rope. Keep the pieces covered with a towel until you start shaping them to keep them from drying out. Now make the pretzel shape with each pretzel rope by lifting the two ends up towards each other, putting one end over the other, and twisting them around each other. You can use a dab of water to help the ends stick down. After shaping all of the pretzels, cover them with a towel and let them rise 30 to 40 minutes until they're noticeably puffy. Preheat the oven to 450 degrees Fahrenheit and get about 16 cups of water boiling in a deep, wide pan. Add in 21 grams of dark brown sugar and gently pour in the baked baking soda from earlier. Be careful because it may foam up a bit when added. Stir until everything's dissolved. Before baking, the pretzels need to be soaked in our baking soda bath. This is what gives the pretzels their unique color, flavor, and density. Gently add the pretzels to the simmering water and let them soak for a minute on one side. Now flip them over and let the other side soak for about a minute. Remove them with a spider whisk or slotted spoon, let them drain, and then place them on a parchment paper lined baking sheet. Repeat the soaking process until all pretzels have been soaked. Note that you can also make other things like pretzel buns or pretzel bites with the same recipe. Just use a different shape and make sure to slice a shallow cross in the top of any pretzel buns before baking. Bake the pretzels in the oven at 450 degrees for 10 to 15 minutes until dark brown in color. Melt some butter in a small bowl and use a basting brush to spread it over the pretzels. Remember to be generous with the butter. And then, once it's fully buttered, sprinkle them with pretzel salt or kosher salt. Don't hold back on the salt. You can also try out other flavors like everything bagel seasoning or cinnamon sugar. Just change out the topping you're using to sprinkle on top. And there you have it, delicious homemade pretzels. Present them on a fancy platter with some warm mustard or nacho cheese sauce for dipping. And buen provecho, enjoy!